All right, hey, welcome Steeler Nation, huh? Yeah, all right. This is awesome to have everybody here. Let me just set the ground rules. When Valerie told me that I had to do this, and she also said that I couldn't do the one that I did 5 years ago, which I still kind of liked, but so I developed some brain freeze, but I came up with some stuff that I'll try to go through it, but we'll plow through this program a little bit. But much like a lot of you, I need my cheaters. So. All right. So, I'm really kind of winging this, but the one thing that when Valerie asked me to participate in this planning, one of the good things is that, normally my days, like a lot of you, are kind of wide open, really not much to do. So, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, "What are you going to do today?" And I said, "Nothing." And he goes, "Well, didn't you do that yesterday?" And I go, "Yeah, but I didn't finish." So I got, so I figured I'd get around to doing that. And the other thing that, as I thought about this, is that for a lot of us, you hear that 40 is the new 30 and 50 is the new 40. Sadly, for a lot of people here, midnight's the new 9 o'clock is the new midnight. So we'll have to try to move this along so we can get there. Before I bring up ask Rob Malteri to give the welcome, I gotta share a story that I had with Rob during the happy hour. One of the things, I don't know, I think you're probably a lot like me, that if you have the opportunity to get some free medical advice, you take advantage of it. So I said, hey doc, I said, any idea my joints are too stiff? And he goes, "Dom, you're rolling them too tight." So and that helps. So I now know that. And it's funny because I was talking to Jeannie Vernil earlier, and you know how people would talk about, as you get older, you don't refer to your knees and your hips or your shoulders as, left or right. It's usually the good one and the bad one. So having said that, let's move this along. So I'm going to welcome up our class president, Rob Malteri. Rob?
You have to hold the mic?
You can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hold the mic up because I'm usually accused of not talking loud enough. So anyway, it's my job for the 11th time to welcome you all back after 55 years. 5 times 11 is, that's how that works out. But anyway, as I walked around last night and tonight, I was kind of asked the same question by a lot of people, and the question was, why don't more people come to these things? Well, after talking with a lot of people and thinking about it over all the years and all the committees that we've had, and we've had 11 different committees and 11 different chair people, and all of them worked hard. They've all done a really good job. They've done everything they could to get people to come. But what I concluded was that there are just a certain segment of people that weren't going to come no matter what we did. Those people were people who really didn't do a whole lot in school. They didn't spend a lot of time in extracurricular activities. They just went to school every day, went home, did their homework, came back the next day and did it all over again. And the other thing is, we weren't like our older brothers and sisters back in the 50s. Back then they really did have the happy days like it was on TV. Back then there was a place called Peppy Vance's. I think a lot of you might remember it. And I know my older brothers and sisters used to go every day after school and they would listen to the jukebox and play pinball machines and drink Cokes and milkshakes and dance and fall in love with each other for a week or so. But anyway, they did that every day for 6 years, from junior high school all the way up through high school, and we never had that. So a lot of these people that don't come to these functions didn't have that interaction, or for some reason didn't have any interactivity at all, unless they played sports or was in some other kind of school activity like plays or band or something like that, or cheerleading. But anyway, trust me, these committees have worked hard over all the years to bring everybody here, and this committee this year has really worked hard. We've had a lot of meetings on Zoom. Valerie forced me to learn how to use a computer. I still don't use them in my office, but I use them on Zoom calls now. But anyway, they really worked hard, and they really did a good job, and I think you all enjoyed the night because of that. Anyway, we finally got out of school in '68, and we were smacked right in front of in the Vietnam War, and unfortunately we sent some of our friends over there, and we lost a few people there. And that went on too long, but then it finally was over with, and the next thing you know, we're into we finished the Cold War. We got out of the Cold War, and then as soon as that was over, we got into the next Cold War. Then about 2011, we all got a gut punch when 9/11 happened, and we ended up in Desert Storm. And the big difference was then that this time we had to watch as our children went to war. This time, though, we actually saw it in living color, and trust me, it wasn't the wonderful world of Disney. We watched it every day on television. Shortly after that, we got out of there, and we went right into Afghanistan for 15 or 16 years and really accomplished nothing over there. Then 2020 came along, we got another gut punch, and COVID hit, and we lost some of our friends there. But now we're into Ukraine, and God knows where that's going to lead us. But hey, we're not here tonight to rehash all of those things. We're here to celebrate and have a good time, and to say hello to each other. And if there's somebody you've been wanting to say something to for all these years, make sure you say it tonight, because God knows when you get that chance again. And if there's somebody you wanted to get a hug to all these years, give them a hug tonight. And then later on the dance floor, we'll all get together for a group hug. Now, before I finish, again, I want to thank Valerie. Valerie was really did a lot of work. The committees all did a lot of work, and I also want to thank all the committees over all the years, because these committees over all the years did a lot of work. We didn't always do it on social media. Back then we did it with paper and meetings monthly or weekly for a long time. But trust me, these people have tried everything they can to bring us all together, and I'm happy to see the number that we have here tonight. And the last thing that I'd like to say is we are going to continue this every year, the last Saturday in July. As of right now, we'll probably be at the Italian Home. We're going to be looking for different venues that are a little more people-friendly to get up and downstairs. But anyway, the announcements will start late winter and early spring, and we'll likely do it on social media, but we'll be sending cards and letters, and would appreciate your early responses so we know how many people are planning to come. And we'd really like to see you all every year, because God knows we don't know how many years we have left. So, but welcome. Let's have a good time. Let's celebrate 55.
Thanks, Rob. He forgot to mention that for the men in the room, he's giving free prostate exams. So, but he forgot the lubricant, so it's going to be a little tough. I think you noticed that I have notes, and it's sad that I have notes, but the biggest lie that I tell myself, and I'm sure you guys do it as well, is that I always say, I don't need to write that down, I won't forget it, and then I forget it. So what's worse, I can't tell you the number of times and I'm sure you're the same, that you walk into a room and go, what the hell am I doing here? Because you don't know why you walked in. And I guess what it says is that it's sad that old age comes at a bad time. You finally know everything just in time to forget it. So, but here's somebody, how's this for a transition, that we haven't forgotten, and that's Susan Mason Leach, and she's going to give us an update on the Farrell High School Alumni Association. So Sue?
Tonight I would like to tell you all about a little bit about the Alumni Association. Oh, all right.
There you go.
Hey, 410 doesn't stretch that far. The Alumni Association has been in existence. We were approved in 1991, and our first scholarship was awarded in 1992. Our purpose is to continue to produce successful graduates and to encourage and promote higher education. Now's when I try to sell you something. Membership for our age is $10 for a lifetime. If you have not joined, please do so. And if you join tonight, you get a free coffee mug. So the only thing you have to do from that time out is sell 5 tickets a year for our scholarship fund. And that's it. Not a big deal. One time, you're a member. Thank you. This year's scholarship consisted of 5 seniors and 4 6th graders. And as of 2023, we have awarded $23,350.
Great. Nice.
I am very proud of that amount. I have been involved since 1992. Imagine that. But mostly Carol Stefanik Ulan. She promotes, as she is here tonight. Please stop over there, see what she has, the shirts that you can buy. Please be still a friend of Farrell and get an alumni, order one. They're not bad, they wash up beautifully, but support us. Because this is how we continue to give the scholarships, is by her selling this, selling our tickets, and doing whatever we can in between to promote the Alumni Association. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If I don't have the answer, I will get you an answer, but I appreciate you listening to me, promoting this, and trying to sell a few scholarships over here. That's what we're trying to do. So I thank you, keep up, and let's hope we do this all again in July. Thank you.
There you go. I lost my point here, but you know, it's kind of shocking that it's been 55 years. You know, and it just means that we're getting old. I know personally one of the worst things about getting old is to actually have to listen to my son's advice. So, which reminds me, my son was in town about a month ago, and he got together with a lot of his buddies, and they actually pulled an all-nighter. Now, I don't know about you, but my idea of an all-nighter is not having to get up to pee during the night, so things have changed over the years. Well, I guess I should get on with this program. This is where, I'm getting the thing, this is where we're supposed to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Unfortunately, Daryl couldn't be here with us. He had an injury, so would you please join me? I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, thank you. You know, it's, as Rob kind of tipped on, that with all the strife that we're going through, it's still nice that we can respect the thing. Lynn Hanrick will lead us in the singing of the alma mater. And for those of you that forgot the words, they're in the program. So break out your reading glasses and join Lynn. Our ageless, energetic Diane to lead us in the toast.
All of us are here this evening because this is where we want to be. But better than that, we're here because we are able to be, and for that we should be grateful. For our classmates who are no longer with us, I would ask you to remember them with a short time of silence. God rest their souls. So now, let us raise our glasses to all of us that are here, to all of us that are there, and to all of us that are everywhere. Hail to the blue and gold.
One quick note. Would you, apparently there's information about the people that have passed on that Georgia Jones Ellaby put together. So please take a look at that. I mean, that was a lot of effort on her part, and we really appreciate it. Also, I wanted to thank our multi-talented Dan Toten for putting together the video and the pictures. And right now we're going to have Deborah Simmons-Pate give the blessing. Somewhere. Here she is. Yep. Yep. Here we want.
Good evening, everyone. Please bow your heads for the blessing. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for this evening. We thank you that you brought us all together one more time. And dear Lord, we ask that you will bless the food that we are about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. For Christ's sake, amen.
I'm going to ask Anna, AKA Penny, anytime you want to come up and give your reflections on, our class motto was follow your dream. And Penny has, this is phase 2 of Follow Your Dream.
Hello, class of 68. So I just want, Valerie asked me to give a few remarks, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it really quickly because I know I'm standing between you and the dance floor and the rest of the evening. You know, our theme was Follow Your Dream. And one of the things I said when Valerie talked about that was, it's not about following our dream at this point, it's about keeping on dreaming. Because one day we had these ideas about who we were, what we wanted, where we were going. And the thing about keeping on dreaming is it's that one day you realize that dreaming is just about being where you are, tackling what you have, trying to make the most of it. And at our age, many times there was a song, I'm going to read the lyrics, called Keep On Dreaming. It says, one day you'll see, you can wish for the world, but still what you'll be. It can't always be easy, isn't always smooth. Life isn't about whether you win or lose. And they say that the dreams don't always come true, but that's okay. I'll keep dreaming anyway. I'll keep dreaming every day. 70 candles on a birthday cake, turns out life is what you make. And so we all have made our way, and many of us now today, as we think about, the years where we waited for the right scenario. If this was going to happen, then that could be. If that was going to happen, this could be. But at this moment, we realized that we traded that perfect dream for what we were able to do. And most of us have done great things in our family lives, in our careers, and we look to the future. But when we talk about keep on dreaming, we're talking about continuing the dream, and that means hope. Hope for the future, hope for our families, hope for, not things that you dream when you're asleep, but keep on dreaming. Its idiomatic usage usually means that the on phrase means that it continues. It just goes. That we look up, we look for tomorrow, we look for how we can build, we look for what the future holds. And so as we look back on our time and we said, follow your dream, we realized that our dream is here, it's now. And so I just hope that our class, each of you in your own way, in your family life, that you say never stop dreaming. It's not a saying, it's a way of life. It's about hoping for the future, looking ahead, getting up every day, deciding what are you going to accomplish today? How are you going to make it? What's going to make you happy? And faced with whatever the obstacles or challenges are, it's about having the courage to pursue your passion, whatever that is, and the determination to overcome any setbacks along the way. So to you all I say, keep on dreaming. We have some good left in us, and we'll keep on dreaming. Okay?
Yeah, we have 2 little things left. But thank you. Penny, thank you so much for being here. Now, I think Georgia Jones Ellaby. You know what, ladies? I hate these married names. Georgia Jones volunteered to interject some fun into this program, so she's got some interesting, I think, door prizes. So Georgia, I'm excited to see what you got.
Hello, everybody.
Well, that's right. That door right there is the grand prize.
We're going to start off with the Fertile Myrtle Award. And based on last night's survey, Anna Rose Wilson is a winner. Actually, it's only 7, but everyone only one person had more, but they decided not to come tonight. So what does that mean? Yes, there you go. So what we'll talk about? I don't know.
There you go, sweetie.
Okay. The first award was the Fertile Myrtle Award. Okay, that means the person with the most grandchildren. Anna Rose Wilson has 7, okay? There was one other person on the survey last night who had 8, but they decided not to come tonight. Oh well, it went to Anna Rose. Now the next award is for the Steve Martin Award. Does everybody remember Steve Martin? Oh yeah. The biggest thing about him was what? That white hair. Okay, we're working it on down. Dave Lucas. The next award is the Don King Award. That was that question about which male has the darkest hair. The most dark hair. Okay. Well, it was almost a tie, but due to one vote, one strand. Okay, let me say it right. Dan Toten won.
Oh, wait a minute. I cannot accept under false pretenses. If you seriously think this is my hair, you can thank Just for Men. Okay?
Good job, Dan.
But I'll take it anyway.
The next award is the Cookie Monster Award. Now, you know, we had to think hard and long on this one. And because this gentleman almost got the award from Dan Toten, he certainly got the Cookie Monster Award. And that's our Figgy! Oh no, you gotta take it 2 hands here. There you go. You're welcome. The next award is the Christopher Columbus. You know, it took me a little while to get it right because, you know, some people say that they came from this far, that far, and wherever, but Google follows me around and knows everything. Google can solve all the murders in the world, most of the crimes, because they listen to everything that you say. Anyway, our Christopher Columbus Award goes to Linda Anrick Miller.
Thank you, babe. When I get a balloon.
And I want to say this, in hers and in another or two, there's that book that Benny's, what's it called, Benny's? The Murder in Pharaoh book. You know, they just hit Amazon? Oh, I read the first chapter, I read the foreword, and I says, oh, I told Valerie, you know, I don't know about it. Well, I wrote these things on there, and I'm like, we're not going to do this, no. But then as I read the first chapter online free, I'm like, this is good. This is interesting, you know, as to how this comes about. And because I'd spent so many years in working for a Department of Public Welfare, I could see all this stuff. I mean, I could see, and then I had a sister-in-law from Youngstown who swore she knew most of the gangsters, that they had her deliver this brown bag here for a quarter and this other bag here for a quarter. And I'm thinking, I can see this stuff. We need to read this book and support our own. It was written by Matt Miller. And if you'll see it on Amazon, it was just released last week. Benny's Boys. It's written by Matt Miller from Farrell. Now, the next president. There was one other question that, you know, I always wanted to be. That little cheerleader, and the one now, the senior cheerleading squads that appear on the NBA center court.
Keep on dreaming.
I'm joining, okay? I'm gonna be a Hornet cheerleader, okay? Anyway, we have one here, and anyone who does that deserves a bottle of rosé. That's Marilyn Levins. She's our senior cheerleader. This is a big deal with the NBA. This bottle of wine is for a man who has made 11 appearances at the 1968 class reunion activities. I just picked one person because he's been so faithful, and he is still very faithful to everything that every committee does. Mr. Malteri, would you please come and have a bottle of red wine? Hey, Bob, you can do whatever you want to with this bottle of wine. Share it with someone you love or someone that you might not love quite as much. Okay, and the other bottle of wine is for a lady who does amazing things. She does amazing things because she likes to, even though today I probably got on her nerves because I said, the boss is saying, you know, we're here working and sweating our little bodies off, but Mrs. Valerie Rufo Broughton, who I can't remember not knowing. I have known her the only person I've known longer than Valerie is Debbie, okay? And I before Debbie, there was nothing. Okay, all right.
You have to give me a hug. You can't just give me a bottle of wine.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And now,
Thank you. Hey, that was a lot of fun. I thought so. We're going to move this around, try to get it going. Valerie, who's been our celebration chairperson, wanted to say a few words, and I don't know what she's going to say, but she put her heart and soul into this thing. So, Val, here you go.
Do I need to do anything, push or anything? Just talk?
No, just talk.
Listen, I do just want to say that it has been one of the joys of my life to plan this reunion. And when I tell people that, they say, oh, you must really have a pretty freaking boring life. But listen, I don't. I have a great life. I travel. I do whatever I want. I have a great life. But the reason it's been a joy is because I've been able to work with like 20 of great people planning this and having all of you be here. And I just want to share that as I've done this, I've come to a real realization that the class of 1968 has been able to have a 55th reunion, not because of the work that I and 20 of you have done. It's because of the work that those of you who have worked for the last 55 years, Robbie said the last 11 reunions, it's because of the work that Paula and Susie and all the rest of you, Diane, and I can't name everybody, but your names are in the program. It's because of the work that you have done for the last 55 years to keep this class together. There are many classes from Farrell High School and all around the country who don't have 55-year reunions because their classes have fallen apart. But because of the work that all of you have done throughout the last 55 years to keep this class together, you've had those reunions where you had to work, keep the names of people together on tablets, and have your weekly reunions or monthly reunion meetings where Robbie made you come together wherever, whenever, and scrape together budgets and find places to have reunions. You held this class together, and so it was easy for the 20 of us on this class reunion committee to have this reunion at the Sharpsville VFW. Because the joy in our hearts and the love in our hearts that bring up all of us together. But it was the hard work that all of you did to keep our class together for 55 years. And that's what I wanted to thank. I wanted to thank all of you that kept this together while you were taking your kids to practices and packing lunches and going to meetings when you really didn't have time to go to meetings, when I was off doing whatever the hell I was doing, but you were doing the hard work to make it easy for the 20 of us who had did the work to put this class reunion on, and that's who I want to thank, who kept this class together. And that's who I love the most. I love all of you, and I appreciate all the work you did. Thank you.